Hi, there's only 2 episodes left, and I'm not happy about it. Things are heating up, but I'm not happy about it. I don't want it to end. So, with that said, let's talk about episode 7. I'm going to recap the things that happened out in the woods, and then I'll move into present day. And at the end of the video, I'm going to recap where I think things might be headed for the end of season 2. As with every recap video, this one contains all the spoilers. So if you haven't seen episode 7 yet, you might not watch this video. Come back to it later. First off, I love the opening of this one as we see Nirvana's Something in the Way playing, as we see a very bleak situation in the cabin. Thankfully, they do catch a break as the snow stops and they're able to finally get outside again after a heavy winter. This also gives Shauna the opportunity to give her baby a proper, albeit not very protected, burial. I'm sure that choice is going to come back into play at some point. Coach Ben has a bizarre vision with Paul, who tells him they need to talk. Paul tells Ben that he couldn't stay there forever and that he's not welcome there anymore. This sends Coach Ben into a bit of a spiral as he now feels everything's going to be fine. Some of the girls speculate that Misty did something to Crystal/Kristen because she wasn't out looking for her friend, which led Misty into faking a breakdown and encouraging everyone to get out and conduct a search. Ben supports this idea just to get everyone out of the cabin and allow him the opportunity to get away. Before the girls go out, they perform a bit of a ceremony to the wilderness and go on their way.
We hear the wilderness and it hears us.
We hear the wilderness and it hears us.
While they're out, Misty breaks away from the group to prevent them from eating Crystal, but fails to find her at the bottom of the cliff. On her way back to the cabin, Misty finds Ben on the edge of killing himself. See what I did there? On the edge? That's the kind of humor you get on this channel, so if you like that, subscribe. If you didn't like it, it was funny. It was funny. Don't be so uptight. Ben says he's not going to keep losing everything and asks Misty to just push him off. Misty refuses and goes into a list of reasons why Ben shouldn't kill himself, including the fact that they will eat him, and she'll savor his high-calorie butt meat, which is probably the best line in this show ever. It was a fantastic line. Good job. Good job, writers. She goes on to say that she'll tell the whole world of their fake love story, she'll make up stories that he was sleeping with the girls, and that she'll tell the whole world that he's gay, and that last one seemed to bring Ben a bit of joy, as that's what he seems to really want. In Misty's last-ditch effort to save Ben, she breaks down about her inability to save the baby and pleads Ben not to do it, and he does choose to back away, at least for the moment. Things wrap up in the cabin with Shauna beating Lottie to within an inch of her life. All right, let's take a look at what happened in present day. We have Ty, Shauna, and Van joining Misty and the seemingly newly awakened Natalie at Lottie's retreat. The ladies then choose their preferred treatment options, and we see Shauna caring for a goat as a part of her self-care, which she does a poor job of after losing it almost immediately. But she turns it around later and seems to handle her responsibilities well. She approaches Lottie and breaks down about her relationship, or lack thereof, with her daughter Callie. Ty's task is to paint a building with a toothbrush. When complaining of the task to Lottie, she shares that she's sleepwalking again. Lottie tells her that this other version of herself is important and will always be with her. Misty is taken to a self-deprivation tank for her guidance treatment, which she initially tries to avoid, but ends up in the tank anyway. The scenes and images that we see from the deprivation tank were quite a detour from the typical things that we see out of this show, but I loved it. I felt like I was either in or observing an acid trip, and I couldn't get enough of this. Misty talks to a vision of Caligula in human form about how people see her. The Birdman gives her words of encouragement about how she is a good person and not a murderer, but a closer. Misty comes out of the tank with a new look on life and calls Walter, where she confesses that he was right about the thing, which we know is related to their conversation where Walter accused her of killing Adam. At night, we see Ty taking off her wedding ring and placing it on a rock adorned with candles. More about this later. Ty then sits with Van, who seems to have chosen alcohol as her treatment for the day. Moments later, they appear to have rekindled their relationship, but it doesn't last long as Ty pulls away and learns that Van has cancer and only has months left to live. Next, we see Lottie meeting with her therapist again, where she reveals that she believes it wants the girls to be together for a deep, primal reason, and that it feels wonderful. But she also feels terrified. Her therapist has some interesting questions. What is standing in the way of them embracing their truest selves? Is there anything of value in this life that doesn't come with risk, loss, or consequences? Then the therapist transforms into the Antler Queen and asks, "Does a hunt that has no violence feed anyone?" I don't know why I sounded like Batman, but I couldn't sound like the Antler Queen. This is the best I got. It's at this point that we learn that Lottie's therapist seems to have never been real, and these sessions have been happening in her head all along. The girls come together in the end to hang out, drink, and reminisce. Misty tries to talk about their time in the woods, and the rest of the group pushes back on this idea, but Natalie apparently is allowed to and asks how much everyone remembers, and that much of their time there is hazy. Shauna says she's okay repressing things she doesn't know about, and Lottie says they always manifest in some way. Present-day events conclude with Jeff informing Shauna that the police have found Adam's remains. All right, let's get into the theories. Number 1, Walter is really an FBI agent. I'm personally not buying his story about being a millionaire, just chilling, just being a citizen detective, got nothing else to do, so I'm just gonna be a citizen detective. I don't buy it to some degree. So is it possible that he's actually legitimately an FBI agent trying to bring down the girls or Misty or whoever? Is he coordinating with the local police on the Adam situation? What do you think? I kind of hope not. I actually do like the idea that he's like the male version of Misty and just wants to run off into the sunset, being a citizen detective with Misty at his side. Okay, theory number 2. The Antler Queen is everyone or no one. While not an entirely new theory, I do like the idea that the Antler Queen is a shared role or responsibility amongst the characters. I can't remember where I heard it, but I like the idea that they come up with like a game or something out in the woods where they send 2 people out and the rest of the group goes out and hunts them. And the one that dies obviously becomes the meal, and the one that lives is the sitting Antler Queen until the next games. Sort of in the same vein, it's possible that the Antler Queen is nobody and is like a shared vision amongst the girls or some supernatural thing. I'd love to hear what everyone's thoughts are on the Antler Queen as of this moment. Okay, the third theory is that there will be an adult sacrifice. I think Lottie is setting up to sacrifice someone by the end of this season, and I think Shauna and Ty are on board because they have things going on where they'd be okay doing some type of sacrifice to get them out of the situations that they're both dealing with. Misty's gonna help too because Misty. Now, who's going to be sacrificed is the question. Will Van self-sacrifice because she's only got months to live anyway? Or will they go with Lisa because of her commitment to Lottie? If you think an adult sacrifice is going to happen, let me know who you think is going to be sacrificed. And I haven't seen a lot of chatter about this, but I feel like Ty placing the ring on that rock may have been a sacrifice to the wilderness, and it's possible that she's choosing to sacrifice her wife, Simone. Although in this scene, she didn't know that Van had cancer, so maybe this was actually an attempt to save Simone? I don't know, what do you think? Is there significance in her placing the ring on the rock? I feel like there has to be. Okay, the final theory, the best theory of this video. I hope you're ready. Let me know. Let me know what you think of this one. The girls are gonna turn the retreat, Lottie's retreat, into a summer adult soccer camp. And they're gonna get their skills back. They're gonna reunite as the Yellowjackets. They're gonna go and take back that national championship that they never had the chance to play in, and they're gonna get what's rightfully theirs. That's the best way this show could turn out, right? We had to eat our friends, but look, in the end, we're middle-aged moms and we got our soccer championship that we always wanted. Happy ending. I'd be good with that. All right, that's gonna do it for this video. I can't wait to discuss the final 2 episodes in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.